Welcome to VRDNation. This channel is dedicated for investing and trading, where we explain complex stock market concepts in a very easy to understand way. So if you are new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe. So in this session, we will focus on everything that you need to know about post market. We will take real life examples. We will answer all the frequently asked questions. So we will make sure that you have a complete and comprehensive understanding of the post market session. So let's get started. Right, so the first thing first that we need to know is what are the stock market timing. Right, so we know that most of us know that between 9:15 up until 3:30, these are the regular market hours. So this is the time where you go to the market and you can buy shares, you can sell shares, you can do investing, you can do trading, whatever you want to do, you can do during this time. But this is not the complete picture. See, the stock market is opened between 9 o'clock up until 4 o'clock. So most of us are only aware of the regular market hours, but very few of us know that there is something called pre-market, which is from 9 o'clock till 9:15. And there is something called post-market or the closing session, which is between 3:30 to 4 o'clock. So this particular video is going to be focused on the post-market, but we have made a special video on the pre-market session. Exactly what is the pre-market session and how do we trade during that session and what are the different rules about that trading. We have made a separate video for that. So if you have not watched it, I will highly recommend you to watch that video as well. So now let's focus on the post-market session, which is the objective of this video, right? So post-market session can be divided into two parts. From 3:30 up to 3:40, that is for 10 minutes. And then from 3:40 all the way up to 4 o'clock. So between 3:30 to 3:40, the exchanges are closed for trading. So even though they are operating, but they are closed for trading because they will not accept any orders that you're going to place during that time. Now the reason that they are closed is because what they do at this time is they calculate the closing price of each stock and the index. Now what exactly is the closing price and why do we have to calculate that, right? So that is something that we will discuss in a separate video. But as of now, just understand that the exchanges have to do some kind of administrative task in these 10 minutes, and that is why they do not allow any trading during this time, right? So the closing price calculation, some kind of a program is running behind the scenes. Now from 3:40 up until 4 o'clock, this is the time when the stock exchange is open for trading. And this is basically what people call as a post-market session because people don't really count these 10 minutes. So 3:40 to 4 o'clock, this is when you can place your orders, you can buy and you can sell, right? This is what the post-market session is. Now the question that we have to answer here is that what is the need for post-market, right? So we know that from 9:15 all the way up until 3:30, these are the regular market hours. So the market is already open for almost 6 hours. Then what is the need for having this additional 20 minutes where the market is still open, right? What's the point? So the original intent, right? The original intent for post-market was to give this grace period for people who made certain mistakes, right? So somebody, let's say they bought certain number of shares for which they don't have enough cash in their account, or they sold some shares for which they don't have enough shares in their demat account. Now some of you might be wondering that how is it even possible? If you don't have enough cash, your broker will not even allow you to buy that many number of shares, right? For example, you don't have, let's say, money to buy 1,000 shares of Reliance, your broker is automatically going to reject that order. Well, you are thinking of this right now, but a lot of small brokers, they don't have a system to validate these transactions, and that is why it's possible. It is absolutely possible, and it used to be the case where people used to buy more than they can handle, or people used to sell more than they had, right? So if you made certain mistakes like that, this is your grace period. You can come back and you can make some adjustments so that you don't have to incur any penalties, right? So most of the time nowadays, the brokers, they will not let that happen, but there are certain small brokers who do not have the capability of doing this kind of validation. So for those clients, this is the grace period where they can come and they can correct their mistakes, right? So the other intent is, okay, up until 3:30 the market was open, right? But let's say there is a news flow which comes after 3:30, and between 3:30 to, let's say, 4 o'clock, there is some news flow regarding a certain stock or the market itself, and somebody wants to, let's say, buy certain shares or sell certain shares. This is their time to do it, right? So The reason number 1 is to correct their mistakes, and reason number 2 is in case there is some additional news flow which was not available up until 3:30, you can use this time to take action based on that. Now, having said that, these are the important points that you need to know about the post-market session. So the number 1 point is the intraday orders are not accepted in the post-market session, right? So if you want to do an intraday trading, you cannot do it in this time period. You can only place delivery orders, right? The ones that you want to carry to the next day, only those kind of delivery orders or CNC orders as they are called, you can place during this period. The second point that we need to know is that during this period, you can only trade in the cash segment. You cannot place orders for futures or options, right? The third point to know is that you can only place market orders. You cannot place limit orders. And if you place them, they will get rejected. And the last point to note here is that you need to check the market depth, that is the level 2 as it is called, for the liquidity in the stock. So what happens is not every stock is going to be traded in the post-market sessions. Sometimes you need to know whether the orders that you're going to place, is there any buyer or seller available for them? So for doing that, you have to check the market depth, and you can see that when we do the live trading. So now let's take some live examples to understand what we just talked about. Okay, so right now it is 3:32 p.m. and the market is closed right now. And we know that from 3:30 to 3:40, the market doesn't accept any orders. But just for some fun, let's just place one order for Punjab National Bank here. And we're going to place this order just to see what happens, right? Just for having some fun. And you can see that the order has been rejected because the order was placed outside the trading hours. And you can see right here that in the position screen also, Punjab National Bank did not show up, right? So that means we cannot place any orders between 3:30 to 3:40 p.m. So right now this is 3:40 p.m. and now we should be able to place orders. So what we'll do is we'll first of all place an MIS, an intraday order of Punjab National Bank, just to see what happens. Right, as you can see now, the error is intraday order is only allowed until 3:30 p.m. It means we cannot place intraday orders after 3. So now we'll take one more scenario, but now instead of having an intraday order, we will have a long-term order. But instead of giving the market price, we will give a limit price just to see what happens, right? So I'm giving a one price for Punjab National Bank just to see if the order is accepted. So I'm going to place this order and we go to the order screen and you can see that the order has been rejected. But this error is a little weird, right? It says only board lot market orders are allowed. And it's a little confusing, but what that really means is that in the post-market session, only market orders are allowed. You cannot place limit orders. They will be rejected. So limit orders are not allowed and intraday orders are not allowed. So what we'll do is this time, let's just place a long-term order, market order for Tata Power. So let's see the market depth here. We can see that there are some sellers out there. So we should be able to get some, some shares. So I'm just going to place this order. It's going to be long-term market order. Order is placed and the order got executed. So you can see here that the order shows up right now in the positions screen, right? So Tata Power, the order got successfully executed. So just to wrap this up, guys, I have two open positions right now, one with Yes Bank and other for Tata Power. One is a long position, other is a short position. For Yes Bank, I have already placed an order. I'm waiting for filling that order for the order to get executed. And at any point of time, if there is a match, if there is a buyer for Yes Bank right now, I will see that the order will get executed. So there you go. Just right in front of our eyes, we saw that the Yes Bank order got executed and the position got closed. And we can see that the order was complete. Now what we'll do is we will exit our Tata Power position also. So what I will do is go to Tata Power, click on options, exit, and give a limit price, no, market price. And we can see, we can just basically wait for the order to get filled. And hopefully it should be done within a minute or so, because we have literally 2 more minutes left for the order to get executed. There you go. We can see that the Tata Power order also got executed. So it means we can close any open position that we have in the post-market session as well. So this was a very high level overview, guys. So I hope that you guys were able to follow the different scenarios and able to understand exactly how the post-market works. Now there is one issue with the post-market, and this is something which is also similar to that in the pre-market. And the issue is that of liquidity, because there are not enough buyers and sellers during this time, right? Not enough people are active, not enough institutions are active during this time. So this is only for people who are very few people, very small percentage of people who are active here. So most of the time you will not have enough buyers and sellers for the stock that you want to buy. So what happens eventually is that you have a lot of unexecuted orders, right? So some scripts which are not very active, you place an order, they will not get executed because there is no buyer or seller available for them. So with that, let's answer a few frequently asked questions about the post market. And the question number one being, can I trade derivatives in the post market? And I mentioned that in the video earlier that no, you cannot. This window of time is only for people to correct their mistakes in the cash segment, not in the derivatives segment. Now, the second question is, can I place stop loss orders? Now you have to remember this, the stop loss orders are actually intraday orders. And as I already mentioned that you cannot place intraday orders like MIS order or bracket orders or cover orders during the post-market session. And that is the same rule which is applicable for stop loss orders as well. So the answer is no, you cannot place stop loss orders in the post-market. Last question which people ask is it advisable to trade during post-market session? And my answer is absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense for you to trade in the post market. Now, every once in a while, if there is, let's say, a good news flow, you want to buy a certain stock because maybe you believe that, the next day it's going to gap up like 2, 3, 4, 5%. That's fine. You can place your orders there and you can get it filled. But apart from that one scenario, I don't see a reason for you to be active in the post market session. Whatever you want to do, you have that time between 9:15 all the way till 3:30. Do it during that time. Why do you have to deal with the liquidity issue, right? So my advice is stay out during the post market unless there is some very special scenario. So guys, I hope that this video has given you a good understanding of the post market session and you have a better understanding of the stock market hours as well. And if you have not watched the pre-market session, which is a little bit more active, which is a little bit more exciting, I will highly recommend you to watch that video as well. And if you understand pre-market and if you understand post-market, you understand the stock market timing.